conversation, racism, colorism, homophobia, and bigotry were exposed like never before. The effort to undermine the political influence of black fellow citizens was specifically targeted by these so-called leaders. Everyday people stormed the doors of City Hall demanding immediate resignations. Even the President of the United States called for resignations. On Thursday, October 12th, 5 to 7 p.m., KBLA Talk 1580 will host a day of dialogue on the anatomy of anti-black racism and bigotry in Los Angeles with an all-star panel of civic leaders. Don't miss this conversation. Thursday, October 12th, live from 5 to 7 p.m. with an encore performance from 7 to 9 p.m. only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Top dollar with the gold flea collar, dipping in my blue Impala. Top dollar with the gold flea collar, dipping in my blue Impala. Yeah. It's like forward to the 5, to the 6, and to the 7. I once was told that all dogs go to heaven. Well, how you been, where you been, and what it look like? My game trump tight, especially when it bump like 4 young G's getting crazy. And no limit is the label that pays me. Ride around town laying game down like Goldie. And I remember what my mama showed me, told me. Game recognized game. Stay true to what you do and don't be ashamed. I got all my game from her. Sometimes I have to wonder how I keep from going under. I'm a bad young brother. I fall to my knees, thank God before I do my thing. I don't know why, I love the gang bang. See, life ain't nothing but a twist anyway. Trick anyway. You can say what you wanna say, just don't get in my way. Cause I'm a Mino, Fino, Cino, and Pino.
You had to let the top dog vibe for a second to lead us into hour 2 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, appropriate because we're going to be talking about Snoop this hour and some things he and a few others have going on. You know, is Snoop the best pitchman of the 21st century?
Between him and Shaq. I
mean, literally, they sell anything. They'd sell water to a whale. Mm-hmm. I mean, Shaq owns, like, through authentic brands, a lot of the brands and things, or he has, you know, involvement in a lot of the things he advertises. Snoop is like, yeah, I take a little bit. He just dropped out of something with a coffee company last week. He was all in with this coffee company, and he decided to back out. But he has enough things to keep him busy.
Well, you know he's not sampling any of the products that he's endorsing either.
I know. We talked about that here. Yeah, he said, nope, I'll take your money. I'll promote them. I'll blow them up. But that doesn't mean that I use them. I am simply making the audience aware. And you think that's fair? I think it's fair.
Yeah, he gives us full disclosure.
Does he always give us full disclosure? Or are we just finding out? Okay. Well, listen. Thank you for locking into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. This, of course, is the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. I am joined tonight, as I am every Wednesday, by our guest contributor, Trent Jackson, Trent the artist, in the building, the Keep It Real friend.
How are you?
You are. This has been a roller coaster with you tonight. First hour, everything was funny. This hour, you're mellow. You're like, yeah.
Well, no, I was mellow when I came in before. You just said a couple of things that really cracked me up.
That just set you off?
Oh, we're going to get back to it, I'm sure.
Oh, we're going to circle back?
Oh, I'm sure we are.
In the after hour?
Well, no, with this Ebony alert.
We talked about it. Do you want to talk about it? We did. That's when you were
remember.
Laughing. That's why you were laughing.
I thought you were going to dive into it some more. Why is he playing this song with this Total?
Is this to bother you?
I love Total. No, I love Total. Oh my God.
He remembered.
But this is not my song though.
That's my song.
That's one of them.
Song. Tripping, kissing you.
I was trying to cheer you up, Trent. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm good. I'm having a good day. I'm not in a bad mood or anything. Actually, my life is great right now. I don't have any complaints. I'm not gonna say that, but I love emotional terrorism sometimes when it's good, you know.
Okay. Hopefully you won that 1.7 billion.
No, I didn't, but I did.
You checked your numbers.
I did check my numbers, but I did get a family member. I talked them into buying me a house, or kind of buying me a house.
Oh well, yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Real estate move.
Well, no. Here's the thing, because we were gossiping about somebody in a roundabout way. And I don't really like, here's the thing, if somebody calls me on the phone and says, oh, let me tell you about such and such, and I don't talk about the person anymore, I just don't want to have anything to do with it. I shut it down immediately. This time, someone called me with some information. I don't really have any beef with this person. I just don't talk to them anymore. So they were just saying how, this person, their parents bought them like a house in Mexico City just to like go and frolic around. And I was like, wouldn't it be nice to just have your parent like buy you a house and you can go frolic around and just, do volunteer work. And then when you're tired of that house, you can tell your parents to sell it and move to now this person's in South Africa. Okay. So they went from Mexico to South Africa and their parents keep buying them homes in these different countries so they could just frolic around. And I'm like, wouldn't it be nice? And I was like, what do I have to do to sign up to be a trust fund baby? Like anything, like just hand it over.
Okay. But you didn't tell us how you convinced them to buy.
So somebody was like, "Oh, so do you want a house so you could just shut up and just be content?" I was like, "Yes, I would." They was like, "Okay, here's your limit. Go find it." And I was like, "Oh."
Well, look how easy that was. That sounds like it's as good as a trust fund baby.
I was like, listen, just when I thought that being black from the hood didn't have any privileges. All right.
Yep. Well, listen. Something in your game.
Yeah, I'm manifesting.
Yeah, somebody's buying you a house.
Just yell it out. Like, oh, really? What do I have to do to sign up? Okay. But the proof is always in the pudding. People say anything to make it sound good.
That is facts. So listen, we know that AI has been a big conversation, and it's evolving and advancing. It's already here, really.
Artificial intelligence or Allen Iverson?
Artificial intelligence. But
I just had to make sure.
Listen, I appreciate that.
Because I know you like this.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. You stretched. Yeah. You stretched. I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate the reference. I appreciate the clarity.
I know I'm doing.
So, Meta, they're trying to catch up with Microsoft and ChatGPT. They have paid several celebrities for their likeness.
Nope.
And their voice.
Nope.
For this new, I don't even know what to call it. It's like an AI voice assistant. When we come forward, I will tell you who the celebrities are, how much they were rumored to be paid for this, and what these AI assistants do. We're headed to some scary times.
It better not be Penelope Cruz.
We'll ask why on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A sense of peace, a place to kick back and put down roots. A lasting legacy. However you define home, at City National, we're committed to helping you get there with our City National Ladder Up Home Loan Program. Find the full benefits at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National Bank, here for our clients and communities. Ladder Up program is available only in select areas. Terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS ID 536994.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission are calling on you to be a part of something powerful. Join the Black Experience Study to share your experiences with the City of Los Angeles. We want to hear your stories. To join the study, join a focus group, or schedule an interview with us, visit www.blackexperiencela.com by December 31st. For more information, call 213-978-1845 or visit www.laisforeveryone.com.
The Green Foundation, key health influencer, empowering our Black communities through action. The Green Foundation advocates for affordable health care, accessibility, and knows the importance of culturally relatable health care. Regardless of income, we believe it is a right for optimum health. The Green Foundation has been at the forefront for 25 years, dedicated solely to promoting prevention through early detection, annual screenings, and nutrition. We know you because we are you. Our hand-holding approach supports you and your family to receive your right to be treated fairly and receiving quality healthcare services. We want you and your family to know COVID-19 was devastating to our families and to our wallet. We can build back better by understanding prevention, wearing your mask, washing your hands, social distancing, and understanding the impact of long COVID. Get the care you deserve. Take advantage of your privileges. Contact us, info@thegreenfoundation.net. info@thegreenfoundation.net.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, we know that AI is the next frontier for some of these tech companies, and they are trying to find ways to make it a part of everyone's day-to-day life. So Meta, in trying to catch up with ChatGPT, which is through Microsoft, has unveiled an AI assistant feature, and they have procured celebrities and influencers as the voice and face of these AI generated assistants. So one of the creators, and of course the amounts are top secret, was paid $5 million for over 2 years for 6 hours of work in a studio to use their likeness as an AI assistant. So Kendall Jenner is one of the people that is involved in this. Her AI chatbot is named Billy, and it is the big sister that gives advice. Tom Brady, his wait, I lost my thing. Here's my notes. Okay, Tom Brady, his AI chatbot is Brew, the sports brain. And he'll debate you on sports and have a conversation with you. You can go to them at any time, ask them whatever you want, and they will respond. Naomi Osaka has one, tennis star. Hers is named Tamika, the manga master. I think that's some type of game. I'm not really certain.
Tamika, huh?
That's the same thing I said, but I was like, maybe I'm overthinking it. Okay. Chris Paul, he is Perry, the golf guru. And Paris Hilton is Amber, the detective. So it's already available in beta for some people in the U.S. It's also coming to Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses and Quest 3. So it's not just going to be like inside of Facebook or Instagram, right? You can chat with one, or you can put them into a group chat. So what you need to do if you want to experiment in this is start a new chat in Instagram, Messenger, or WhatsApp, Facebook, any of those. Request early access to join the wait list, right? And you click AI chat to get early access, and then they'll let you know when you're in. And then you can have these conversations with Billy and Brew and Perry and Tamika.
No, I'm just going to call the people that I know already.
I mean, exactly. But here's the thing. We know, right, that social media, and as the internet has grown, even though people are more connected than ever, they're also more isolated than ever.
Correct.
And they are not forming real deep relationships. A lot of them are surface level, right?
Been duped.
And so the scary thing about these things is, you know, they're trained, they're kind of gonna learn you as you talk and what you're interested in. Now, I do use, I've used ChatGPT. I've tested it out, used it to research some stuff or whatever. It is true they get stuff wrong. You do have to re-research it. But I can't imagine wanting to have a chat friend that's AI, that's not real. That seems...
No. This is a very dangerous territory that we're venturing off into. And it's sort of like the final frontier for humanity. Because, like you said, we're more separate than ever. So now, if we're separate and people are lonely, now all you got to do is have this, one-way conversation essentially with yourself through a messenger, and your loneliness is gone temporarily.
Like, I watched a demo of it, and this girl was like, she called Kendall Jenner. She was like, "What's up with you, B.I.?" And, whatever. And the response was, so I should say that the personality types of these chat bots are not the same personality as Kendall or Tom. It's almost like they're playing a role. It's simply using their likeness and image in this.
Clones.
And they're already that, so it's just taking it a step further to put their likeness in this bubble.
Do we have a Twilight Zone loop or some type of scary music? Because we are entering in our conspiracy. There we go. X-Files.
It's
so
just like
you two both think that we're already, and I do think that the way that you frame it, when you step back and think about it, it does feel like a version of cloning. Maybe not the way that we think of conventionally, but
if you think about the sunken place in that movie,
I know.
Right?
Where you going with this,
we took somebody's likeness and we put it in something different. So it's kind of essentially the same concept, but just not in a physical form.
I mean, we've been talking about that. Remember that movie, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Yeah.
That came out in the 50s. Andy?
Man, folks been doing that on social media since social media began. People be faking the funk.
Catfishing. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But and at the same time, why are we acting like this is anything new? Y'all be chopping it up with chat bots all through Twitter, all through Instagram, arguing with them, debating with them.
Well, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
but
I feel people that you don't know.
Yeah, listen. But what I will say is, you do talk with chatbots when you call in for automated services for your credit card, or if you're placing an order online, customer service. We deal with it a lot. But I'm sorry, utilizing it as a friend. That's what I was going to say. The difference is that people are going to be utilizing it for friendship. And I think because we're so isolated, because people don't know how to connect with people anymore. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about young people 19 to 34.
They're not doing it anymore.
They're not, and I think part of that is because they're not connecting, and they're not having, people don't know how to connect in person.
That is so interesting.
We're going to be, what is that movie? It was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think Sharon Stone, or which?
Total Recall?
It was a Total Recall, I think so, where they had sex when they put their hands up with each other and they projected memory or something like that. It was one of those movies. I can't remember, but I feel like we're headed into a very weird place.
Well, they've already started coming out with these dolls and stuff that you could do it to that's not real, that are like human-like, and
they probably are going to put a plug in an AI chat bot inside one of those sex dolls. And listen, buddy,
it's over.
Degenerate.
Yo, we've been seeing this all of our lives in the movie theaters.
Yes,
we have been.
It's here.
It's here. They primed us for it. They set us up. They gave us a thing. I mean, when you think about it, really think about. And someone in the chat mentioned this as this is exposure time. But it's not just with relationships and things of that nature. It's so many things. Think about what has happened in the past 6 months, right? Nobody batted an eye when they're like, yep, aliens are real. Yep, we got some bodies. Yep, we've had some incidents. Yep, we've communicated. We all felt that. We all kind of knew. We've seen the TV shows. Like, that doesn't seem that far-fetched.
It's just like Will and Jada not being together. We knew that too.
We did know that. Some of us did. But I think that it's going to be, you think about the Matrix. At some point, all of this is leading us, because I know somebody on Twitter always says you guys are going to be hooked up to plows because you're not paying attention to everything that's going on.
I think we're already hooked up to machines and we just don't know it yet.
Exactly. So, I mean, I saw something for a new phone where, again, it's one of those things where they just kind of put something on your ear and it projects. And so the keypad just comes up in your hand, like, all of those things. So you won't even need the hardware anymore, but you'll have this piece, which eventually they'll try and
implant.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And, you'll just be running all of these computer programs and things of that nature.
So all people need to do to get prepared for what's getting ready to happen, here's the major thing that people need to remember with technology and all these advancements and stuff. You do not have to participate.
You don't.
It is not an obligation or a requirement. You can excuse yourself and leave the room.
Stop playing with those 90s yearbook AI pictures. You are giving up your rights in perpetuity
throughout the entire universe. Instances. Yes. You do not have to participate, and that's the major and first thing. So that's number one. Number two, go sit down this weekend and binge watch Black Mirror. If you watch Black Mirror, it lays out everything, how it's going to go happen, when it's going to go down, all that, and it will prepare you. If we think about it, there's an episode of Black Mirror about 2 seasons ago. It's the same exact thing that happened to Britney Spears. It played right on out.
Okay, Andy.
I'm with you, Trent, but I think the concern is, first off, I don't think you can run away from it at all.
You can't.
You can try to get off the grid, but it's so much technology around you that you can't escape. And I think even if you do try to get off the grid, it's probably going to be a really, really lonely place.
That is fact.
You'll be with the animals.
Animals don't talk, although they might by that point. I mean, listen, I think people are already lonely, but to that point, isolation.
You don't be talking. You don't understand your dog when your dog bark.
I am talking about speaking, though.
But when my cats talk to me, I get it.
That is communication, but that is not speaking. I'm talking about language.
Okay.
We're not talking about communication. We're talking about language.
Got it.
So, yeah.
They talk.
They communicate.
They do.
I don't know if they talk yet. Could happen. Some of them may. But look, I just think that scary times,
Is it really scary though when they've been prepping us for this for years?
Let me tell you why it's scary. Yes, they've been prepping us, but there is a difference when, it's coming one day, someday.
Versus it's here.
Right. Because, most people don't really prepare for someday and one day. They don't get up for it. They don't put together the goals that they have for someday and one day. That is why people are so impressed, or why we are enamored with those that do follow through with their plans and actually produce.
Thanks for saying that, because I've been having a perplexing time putting that you just made something make sense.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. I'm here to help, because we do that sometimes. But so I think with AI or these chatbots and these type of things, it's just that it's easier than to deal with the world. You can pull back into yourself and you can find solace over here, right? We've seen that happen with the internet slowly as people have dived into their niches and so forth. There was a time, people have always have been at odds on opposite ends of the spectrum, different opinions, but they could sometimes get together and discuss it, agree to disagree, or agree, I'm not never talking to that person again, whatever it is, but they could have that face-to-face interaction. Now people dig down into their little holes. They can be shown a complete lie, and I'm like, but I believe it because I like what it represents for me over here, and that's it. So I think people are already deluding themselves, and that is just a path to more delusion. And when we look around and the way that people are carrying on, how they're, acting out in the world, that's what makes it scary to me.
Yes, it is. I've been saying this for about 2 months now. It is 1980 outside. If you were around in the 80s, it was a fun time. Nice, music was great. Fashion was a little weird, but it was ghetto outside. It was crackheads. It was people getting robbed of their gold. Inflation. People didn't have money. Jobs was a mess. Like, it was a rough time. Either it was very much have and have not. And a lot of people just did not have it. It was a struggle fest for most people. And we saw the ramifications of that. And we all know that life, it repeats itself. It's a cycle.
Cycle, right?
So we're back in the 80s right now outside. Gas prices are a mess.
Man.
It's, economics is just messed up. It's 1980. Drugs are, these drugs, these designer drugs, these pill poppers, this meth, it has just got people by the balls, and it's strange outside right now. It's crazy to see.
It is. I think people are looking for escape. We are still dealing with the after effects of going through a global pandemic. Like, seriously, we joke about that, we make light of it, but that it was really crazy, and it's really going to take years and years and years for us to fully understand the impact of what we went through.
Yeah, a lot of people will reset, and some people, when you reset your computer, it either comes back on or it stays off. So a lot of people stayed off and changed in ways that we didn't think that they would, and some people, we see it all the time. Some people improved and got better during the pandemic, and some people it's like, ooh, what happened? Are you okay?
Right. I mean,
and they're not recovering.
That is a question. It's funny.
You have to think about it. It was, the first time in a lot of people's lives that they've dealt with life changes like that, losing a job, losing a car, losing a house. And that's an upset, especially when people have lived life uninterrupted and, had fun and had vacations. But for me,
they had to sit with themselves
and really look at life. But I say this all the time on my show, just imagine, y'all, not y'all, but people got that in a very, I guess, compact amount of time. Okay. The lessons, very compact and short. Just imagine if that compact and short time that people, went through all these changes was your life every day for 7 years.
I mean, that would be, a lot.
So that was my life every day for 7 years, what people went through in a short time in COVID. So I'm looking back at everybody like, y'all tripping over this? Girl, this has been my life. Sir, this has been my life for 7 years, back to back without a reprieve. So I understood what was going on, and the things that, those kind of things in life, they change you for the better. They tell you how to fine tune certain things, or they make you it causes depression sometimes. It's everyone gets a turn. You're up, you're down. It's how the world works. So unfortunately, a lot of people, it was their first time experiencing a down.
I feel like the world overall, though, I think people not only had to learn to sit with themselves, they had to, deal with the realization of whatever their home life was.
Yes.
The job, the disappointments.
You couldn't run anymore.
Yeah. And I think that it did a number on a lot of people, just the way that people reacted during the lockdowns, I
was excited to be home. I was like, it's lovely. Got food, snacks, up in here.
The air quality was amazing.
I love being at home. Let's do it again.
I like home. Home is nice for me.
And not only that, I created a nice little bubble of people to hang out with. So I saw the same people all the time. I had a good time during COVID.
I mean, but for some,
I got
didn't
into
have
a
that
relationship.
thing.
I met a nice person during COVID.
Okay,
it was great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Urban Smith, look, Andy too.
Look
at that, matching up. Not me.
That
Urban
was my
Spinster
choice.
Says, have you noticed how many people have COVID brain, fogginess, lack of recall, etc.? When we come forward, we will respond to that and then get into more of these trending topics and headlines. I think I have another video. I know I have another topic. All of that and more. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580 News.
And that bad girl you're dealing with, boy, she get you set up. Top dollar with the gold flake collar, dipping in my blue Impala. Top dollar with the gold flake collar, dipping in my blue Impala. Boy, you done put all your trust in that girl. Didn't you see what happened to the president? Nigga, wrong. Living in a tight house, big as the White House. Didn't know, but he didn't know. What you talking about?
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Jackson City Council in Mississippi has voted unanimously to approve a resolution renaming a portion of MLK Drive in honor of the late Hinds County Judge Loretta Stokes. According to the resolution, the street's name will not be officially changed, but signs will be erected that honorarily recognizes Stokes as the first black woman judge in the history of Hinds County. Morgan State University in Baltimore will be a less open campus following the homecoming week shooting that left 5 people wounded. During a recent town hall, University President Dr. David Wilson said the HBCU will add 8,000 feet of fencing, effectively closing 90% of the campus. Wilson, who is black, says it's not to keep out neighbors in the community, but to keep out the bad actors. In addition, there are plans to place an armed MSU police officer in front of the Thurgood Marshall Residence Hall 24/7. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Escape with the best stories of the year on Audible. Hear celebrity memoirs, mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Ignite your imagination with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Hey, Dad. How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on, this was the jam. This is still one of my favorite songs ever. And how was Zapp foretelling the future in like 85 about what would be going on with the computer? And of course, shout out to Charlie Wilson and Shirley Murdoch.
I was about to say, where is Shirley?
On the background vocals for this. Listen, 85, Computer Love. And your eyes have that glow. We kind of got a vibe. Could it be your face I see on my computer screen? Come on. To share in my computer world. I no longer need astrology. Thanks to modern technology. Let's go. Welcome into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I hope you're getting some computer love and checking out the visual on YouTube with us. Get into it.
I want the real thing.
You want the real thing? I know you do. I know that's right.
Not the computer love.
Listen, take whatever version you can get, whatever you have access to.
Strive for the real thing.
Strive for the real thing, but in case you
practice online and then go outside and execute.
Perhaps for some,
yes.
Just get into it. That is what we are asking you to do here. So thank you for locking in, VIPs. I would be out of sorts if I didn't mention that. Yes, I know it's preseason, but the Lakers won again tonight. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell, reminding us of what he was doing before that final round with Denver. But I think it was just Denver's year anyway. I'm still not mad at what the Lakers did last season. We're going to build on it this season. Y'all ready? Yeah. Huh? What is today? Oh, and today, that's right, because we were talking about this off air. Pay homage. Bow down. Number 17, 3 years ago today, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Miami Heat for ring number 17. LeBron James first as a Los Angeles Lakers. You know, we always going to represent LA deep, big time. I am a true sports fan and an even bigger Los Angeles lover. So,
Jill.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm still upset.
About the bubble ball?
No.
What?
No, we didn't get no parade for that.
I'm mad. LeBron mentioned that, and people were like, move on. We deserved a parade. We deserved a parade with LeBron. They brought that chip home for Bean.
Absolutely.
So, I know I still think they should come together and do some type of commemorative anniversary thing of all the titles. And just something. Yeah. We deserved it.
And you know what's crazy, too? It's like good and bad news at the same time, right? Because that same year, the Dodgers won the chip too.
Yep. And we just got swept out tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Shout out to Forensic Accountant in the chat trying to make light of it. Listen, everybody is a down year. When did the Diamondbacks last win their title? Not 3 years ago. Yeah, Arizona. That's who swept them tonight. Not 3 years ago like the Dodgers did, right? I'm just talking. I'm just saying, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's all love. It's all supportive. But, hey, and then also, shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. They're up 2-0 in the WNBA Finals tonight. Look, they're about to do it. They are a budding dynasty. Of course, I'm a diehard Sparks fan, but the Aces, they've had my attention the past few years. Can't lie.
I'll be honest with you. I wish I was more tapped into the WNBA.
Oh, I'm not totally tapped in. Let me not lie. I appreciate it. I want to see those women do their thing. Yeah. I like that fans are more supportive. You know, the college game gets more burn for women than the pro game. Yeah. I talked to some players in the WNBA, and they were saying, much like their male counterparts, they don't even watch the WNBA, and they don't watch it because, right, that seems crazy, right?
WNBA players don't watch?
When they were in college and coming up, they didn't watch it. They weren't thinking about it in that capacity. Wow. They said they were players that they know, but really they, didn't feel like they were in that sort of mode because they felt like they could be right there with them. And maybe it's the money, maybe it was, the prestige has just started picking up. The WNBA rights deals are up with ESPN and ABC in 2025. That is when the new Golden State team, well, we don't know if they're going to, whatever they're going to be called, the new Golden State companion team will be introduced. There's also going to be another team brought in, and people are watching. They are, some of the matchups in regular season did better than a couple of NBA playoff games. So the women's game is taking off. We obviously saw the battle with Angel Reese and Floje and Caitlin in the tourney a few months ago. So we're going to see where this goes. But women's sports is stepping up. The National Women's Soccer League are about to do a huge media deal. So it's an untapped market as far as money, and people are going forward.
I will say this lastly about the WNBA. I don't know where I saw this, where I read this, where I heard this from, but I think this would be a good idea. If the WNBA decided to lower their rims,
they're not going to do it
to where they could start dunking on each other. I just think it would be a more exciting game.
They don't feel like that's authentic, and some of them can dunk with the rims right where they are. So, I mean, I think, we're starting to see more dunks. We've seen more. Things got to grow. The NBA players weren't always playing above the rim either, right? We had to evolve to that point.
Come on now. They weren't as athletic at that time. And I think it was like outlawed to dunk at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, but and it came in, but even still, the game itself changed, right? If you look at old NBA footage, like a George Milliken or whatever his name is from the Lakers, like in the 1950s, they're just running, stop, chest pass of the ball and whatever. I'm probably getting too deep for some of you, so we're gonna move around from this. I'm just saying, shout out to them. If you want some little interesting tidbits on the other side, Miles Bridges, he plays for the Hornets. The Hornets are kind of, how back in the day the Portland Trail Blazers were known as the Jail Blazers, and that was where all the rejects of the league, not really, but that's what people said, were sent to. They had, they had personalities that were enthusiastic, explosive at times. Andy?
No, I'm letting you talk. I'm just getting ready to reply.
So I feel like that's what's going on with Charlotte, because all their players, all the young guys, and it could just be because there's no winning there, so that makes you lean into all of the other distractions and just do dumb stuff. Their players are always in the mix. They just released that one guy that was going crazy.
Kai Jones.
I almost said Kai Sent, so that's why I was like, let me go Google it really quickly.
Well, he asked for his release.
I know he asked for it, but he was online wilding out before that. It's like the meeting of the mind said he wasn't going to be in uniform with them this season. Right? Miles Bridges, he just an arrest warrant has been issued for him.
Again?
It's related to a prior domestic violence incident, but what happened with this time, there's no new allegations of physical assault. So let me be clear on that. It's related to a violation of the protective order. What I will say, and actually the person I interviewed that we'll be sharing that interview tomorrow night, I talked to her about this because she runs a wives and girlfriends Instagram blog, and she's befriended people. Miles Bridges and his girlfriend, child's mother situation is kind of toxic, kind of Krishan Rock and Blueface type situation where, there's like physical stuff on both sides. But, all of the stuff that he's been arrested for after this, they've had another child. So sometimes people are toxic. And to me, that illustrates why sometimes, especially back in the day, people took the approach, especially in your workplace, hey, I'm just going to mind my business as far as what goes on in your home. Because sometimes it's hard to help or be involved when you don't understand or have a full, a full scope of their relationship and how they function with each other. And there's some women who, unfortunately, that's how they feel that they're loved. I'm not saying that that's the situation with this, but I don't know what the situation is with this. That's why I'm saying I'm not saying it what it is with this, because there might be some details I'm unaware of. So I'm just going to go with the bit that I know and be clear. But, hope they get it together. Forgot Mitch Kupchak was over there as the GM. But anyway, Trent, how you doing?
I'm just like, you had another baby with this clown. So you going back and forth, you like it, you got possessed by the penis power, and you got taken down.
I just think, those are the situations where I'm like, take us out the group chat. Seriously.
I mean, because what else is it? You have a baby, and there's only one way to do that. So you get knocked in the head, and you get banged out. Like, come on, you got to pick one. It can't be both.
Like, and there's some situations where she has like tried to, because she felt like he might have been with another girl, and she drove up and allegedly left her children on his front steps so that he could watch the children.
It's not that serious.
Yeah. Just a lot of drama. So I hope they get it together. Listen, your boy Tyrese.
I don't know that man. That's your friend.
Tyrese is being sued again.
For what? Crying on Instagram Live?
What more do you want from me?
Exactly.
That was great timing.
Yep, I knew it.
Something like that, kind of close. There's a filmmaker named Brian Barber. And when Tyrese was on The Breakfast Club, he talked about how, all of these things he's been going through or whatever. And he had reached out to Charlamagne. He wanted to Barbara Walters the situation. And he wanted to have like a sit down in his home, beautifully shot with Charlamagne and
lights
he one-on-one.
And mics and boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Barbara Walters back in the day, like Whitney.
See, he grew up in the same time period we did. So this is what we're used to seeing in our minds.
Exactly. Like when it's a serious moment, we want to, not just come in studio, not just do it over a Zoom. We want you to feel.
But you're on the C-list, sir.
I mean,
he's on the C-list, and he cannot get Robin Roberts' power to call that up.
Well, he was going to produce it himself.
Gayle King.
And then he was going to have Charlamagne do it.
Nope, Robin Roberts, Gayle King.
This has already happened. This is not new. It's not something that's forthcoming.
I know.
This was in 2019.
But he's delusional.
So, but what happened was, allegedly, this filmmaker did not give him the footage. He said, I paid $35,000 total for this whole thing. And when I found out, he said that he's alleging that he did it to Big Boy, Outkast, not LA Big Boy, Dallas Austin, and a couple of other people. So he says he doesn't care if he sees it because he's too honest. The guy stole his footage. Well, Brian Barber said, hold on now. So he's suing him for defamation and libel. He's seeking $10 million in damages. And it says that he is attacking Barber's character and reputation with the allegations. He also said that he and Tyrese agreed that the sit-down conversation would be filmed over a day and both parties would split on a 50-50 basis the revenue derived from the streaming and the distribution. Barber says that despite the filming schedule, he was instructed to return for a second day of capturing B-roll, of Tyrese spending time with his wife and newborn daughter, and that wasn't the agreement. When we come forward, we will get into more trending topics and headlines. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
We're celebrating 1 year of the K. From checking out the vibrant art and diverse dining in Leimert Park to cheering on your favorite team in Inglewood, you can choose your own adventure when you ride the Metro K-Line. Leave the car at home and go Metro. Visit metro.net/K-Line.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome forward, VIPs. We have been having such an interesting conversation. So, Tyrese, this lawsuit, Tyrese is just on a bad run right now. I think he could benefit from, he said he didn't care if the guy heard it or whatever. He knew what he was doing, but I don't know. Pretty Brown Mimi says Tyrese is a good actor singer, but his personal sounds messy. Therapy works. And Urban Spencer says everything else was period mess. Forensic Accountant says you'll never be Coca-Cola Tyrese again, and that's okay. Stop looking for external validation, whether it be from the fans or your partner. Self-care, man. Well, listen.
Well, the chat has spoken.
The chat has laid it down.
I agree.
I agree too.
I mean, so at a certain point, at least for me, and this has always been my goal, no matter where my career takes me, the goal is to just have enough money to sit at home and pay your bills and order pizza from time to time and just be quiet. I don't understand why people just can't take their money and go sit down and be quiet somewhere.
Because sometimes you need attention.
No.
And attention is a drug. No, you don't. But you can't.
But no, I get it.
But, well, I mean, because here's the thing. And I say this about Tyrese and several young, and not everyone, but when you are a child star, that's in your formative years, right? The world opens up to you differently. Yes. And there's not many that escape it unscathed. There are some, but a lot of them messed up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You look at Orlando, what's his name? Brown.
A mess.
Right? Oh. Cute little kid. I remember when he used to be on Hanging Mr. Cooper. He was the sassy little kid clapping back and stuff like that. Something got caught up.
Gotta blame Disney.
Gotta watch the
Rosie Would you say?
Blame Disney.
You blame Disney, blame Nick. Here's the thing. You could, but also there are people that have gone through those systems that I personally know that are okay. You know, that doesn't take away from the experience of those that are not. But I think it also talks about the foundation that you have around you.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those kids can't help it. You know, they don't know. Their parents aren't ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're ready for it and they don't care how it's going to impact their child, or, you know, some of the situations. We've seen it over and over. I don't know. What are your thoughts on child stars? Because I see a lot of people say kids shouldn't be allowed in Hollywood. And if you're a bad parent, if you put your child in that because you know it's, you know, whether they feel it's a prostitution ring, it's setting themselves up to be exploited, whatever. What are your thoughts?
I think that, you know, certain kids are just inclined and that's what they want to do. And I think, you know, some parents like to support their kids' dreams, and, you know, but there's no, we know about all the stories and everything now, but, you know, my mother was one of those parents. She was like, no, you can, if you want to go to Hollywood, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to do it later on your own terms. I'm not, you know, putting you in at 5. And I get it. I resented her for a long time, you know, for that decision. But as an adult, it brought me back anyway. So it was going to eventually happen. It just didn't happen at that time.
In that way.
Yeah.
Do you think you're better for it?
Some days, yes. Well, no, not even, because I still ended up going through drama and on drugs. So what's the difference? It would have been nice to have a little bit more money.
Okay.
For the cushion, you know.
A little cushion.
If you're gonna go through it.
Indeed. Pretty Brown Mimi says Raven Simone, Keisha Knight Pulliam are success stories.
Are they?
Raven, I mean, not like that. I like Raven, but and here's the thing: financially sound, always make good investments.
Financially, yes.
But Raven seems a little interesting. We don't know, and she's allowed to be eclectic.
Yeah, she's very different. And Keisha Knight Pulliam, poor girl.
I don't know much about that, so I'm going to keep it pushing. I just know it's difficult. I mean, Urban Spinster mentioned BET rerunning Family Matters. Shout out to the Family Matters cast.
I was going to bring up Kelly.
Kelly is,
yes.
Here's the thing. Kelly is, full disclosure, Kelly Shanae Williams, who played Laura, is a good friend of mine. And
you know, I met her in your kitchen. And that is so crazy because I just had come over to the house and I didn't know, no one said that she was going to be there. And I walked into the house, and Laura Winslow was in the kitchen, and I'm like trying not to freak out.
Felt like you're walking into a Family Matters scene.
No, I was trying not to freak out and be like this weirdo, like, and like have a fan moment, because it's like it's not every day you're planning to walk into a kitchen and see Laura Winslow just sitting up chilling. It's like, wait a minute. Stop the press. So I had to contain myself. I'm glad I got that out after all these years.
And shout out to Kelly. She's also featured in the First Lady of BMF BET Plus series, the Tonisha Welch story, where you heard the interview last night. So
I like Kelly.
She plays Tonisha's mom. When we come forward, we are going to have more trending topics and headlines. We are going to get into Joe Budden's response to Drake's uber long caption on Instagram, and also the revelation that Drake hopped in Joe's DMs and sent him a voice note. We're also going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. News and sports is on the other side.
Such a